Hello and welcome back to Chaos Creations. It's a sunny, hot day here in Perth, Western Australia, and I want to talk to you about many things, but let's get something off the bat straight away. I have found a box of miniatures. These are lots of Legions Imperialis dudes. Got a bag of dudes there. Lots more. I've got one, two, three, four, five different lots. They're all various different things. And I'm not going to get to them now that I'm no longer doing Legions Imperialis. So I'm going to give these away for free now. I already have a competition running for 1,000 subscribers and 1,500. So let's say 850. If I can get to 850 followers, I'll give this away to somebody. Remember rightly, I paid about $200 or $300 for all this stuff. I don't know what that is actually. Anyone know what that is? They can tell me. It's like a little guy on a speeder or something, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, 850 followers, and I'll just give that away to somebody. I'll just pop it in the bag and send it off, and they can have some fun with it. So if you have friends out there that are doing Legions Imperial, oh, there's another one in the box. What are these? These look like guys with jump packs. Okay, cool. So if you have friends out there, or you know somebody that would like these, and make a good Christmas present, wouldn't they? Let me just put them back in the box here. I need the room here. So what I'll do is I will pick somebody at random, and I will contact them, and they've got 7 days to get back to me. If they don't, then I'll just get somebody else and message them. And as always, if you say, thank you, Mr. Chaos, but I'm not really interested in those, fine, no worries. I will then pick somebody else, and that person's back in the draw for something else later on. So what I want to talk today about is what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks. Now, I want to apologize in some respects because I've always said I'll only ever do a video when I have stuff to say. Don't have stuff to say, you're not going to hear from me. I'm not one of these people that are going to do clickbait or, I've got to do something because I need to keep my subscription people up, blah, 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 blah. I do this because I enjoy doing it and I want to tell you people stuff. You can listen to me if you want. You don't have to. You can just mosey on. But I would like to think the fact that some people have an interest in what I have to say. I also like to say the fact that this page for the moment is mostly old world. There will be some 40k information. There will be some, tabletop, this, that, and the other. But for the moment, it's just mostly old world because that's where my passion lies. So I've done a couple of dice towers and some of the bits and pieces, and I just want to share that with you because, with the old world coming up, just throwing dice into a box is kind of boring and you want to flavor it up a little bit. So if you have a 3D printer or know somebody with a 3D printer, then I have some stuff for you. So this one here, now all of these can be found on My Mini Factory. All of them are printed at 0.2, okay? So this is like a tower. Now, if you really wanted to, you could use this just as a piece of terrain, just pop your miniature in there or have them on top, you could have your wizard at the high tower or your damsel in distress, but I'm just using the skeleton for scale, really. So, that's quite good, but if most part, it's just going to be sit on the side of the table like that. And this thing is quite nice, you can just pop some dice in. And as you may have seen, one has popped out. And this is the only problem I find with this. If you get too many dice, there is a chance of it rolling. It's not very high, it's going to pop out, but it's still there. Anything I do find more than anything else is I'll put too many dice in, one hides in there. Right, so this bit comes off. You can magnetize it, which is what I'm going to do. So I can stick it on these for a dice tray, and if I wanted to, if I'm in a pinch and I need a piece of terrain, like a large tower, away I go, and there it is. Took about 10 hours to print out this piece, and about 3 or 4 hours for this piece, all printed at 0.2. And I'll print this up in a very sort of castle, bit of wood there, and do that in a red or a blue, and that in a very castle sort of setting as well with bits of wood on the side. And away you go. So for Toon Kings, I did something a little different. This is absolutely gorgeous. So here we have beautiful mummy face, monolith on either side, a couple of Anubis dogs, some scarabs, a bit of rock. But on the side we have some hieroglyphics, more rock, beautiful scorpion, beautiful hieroglyphics at the top there. And at the back we have this absolutely gorgeous two monoliths and a mummy holding some type of sword. Absolutely freaking beautiful. And scarabs at the top. And once again, same on that side, the scorpion, stone, and the scarabs at the top. I love little scarab beetles there as well. That's very cute. So this is visually absolutely stunning. But as a dice tray, this bit is just way too small. I'm just going to put my hand up here to sort of block it, because what happens is they fall out. So what, we had 2 dice fall out that time, 2 dice fall at that time, 1 dice fall at that time. So if you're doing 1 or 2 dice, it's not too bad. Oh, there you go. Oh, Jesus. The problem is that the chute, it's just a straight boom, and you know, it's like almost like a little rocket to fly it out. Now, what I'm thinking about doing is got a nice little lip on either side here. I'm thinking about putting a pyramid on here and just using it as a piece of terrain. You know, it's quite nice. It's like a balcony from a bit that's sticking out of the ground. It'll look very beautiful, quite nice, and I can maybe put it on something to make it a bit higher and such. But that's essentially what it's going to be used for. As a dice tower, not really that great, but visually absolutely stunning. Now, the other thing that I printed out was just a little, very simple tray. This one's like got the Grim Reaper on him. I had to start printing in green. I actually ran out of grey, which was quite embarrassing. I actually ran out of grey filament. Very embarrassing for me. But this thing is not too bad. So, unfortunately, you're not going to see the black dice very well on the green, but we'll give it a go. And this, oh, that's not a bad roll at all. So, for dice rolls, this, you know, it's very simple, very basic. You just, you know, ooh, nice roll, Mr. Chaos. Look at that. Is it a 6? Yes, a 6. So, you know, if you're not going to bounce them around lots, dice tray works quite well. Small enough, you can put it in the sideline, away you go. I personally find if I'm going to be using a lot of dice, so it's going to get cramped in there very, very quickly. So, the last thing I have to show you in the way of dice towers is this beautiful, magnificent thing, which I printed out. Now, this is quite interesting because you can put all your dice on the side here if you wanted to. Not a problem. Let me get a few of those out. Now, what we also have here are these little white dice. I call these peppermint dice, mostly because they're small and tiny. These are 40K dice. And these are annoyingly well known to bounce around like jumping beans. But in here, is that a double 6 in there? Wow. In here, the walls are high enough, they've got nowhere to go. So I think so far I've had 1 dice fly out of here, and that's pretty impressive considering the amount of dice rolls I've put through it. So, you know, you just, and I would say you need a couple more dice, or you're doing like, you know, the white dice is the save, and the other thing is an invulnerable whatever, and then you can just bounce around to the heart's content in there. Now, you could use this as a piece of terrain if you really wanted to, and a 25 by 25 base fits quite snugly in there, so you can use it. Maybe you want to use it as a fighting pits or something. And you can put little tufts of, you know, grass in the corners or on the top and such. Maybe a couple of skulls if you really felt like it. But I've just painted up very basic white and greys and so forth. And it is what it is. So this will be sitting on my corner, and this is what I'll be using. Now, what I'll be doing over the next couple of days is a painting video on how to paint some scarabs. I picked up these two paints, a metallic greeny blue and a metallic purple. So I'll be using them on a couple of my swarms to see how they look. And I'll also start printing out bases, bigger bases, 50 by 50s, 40 by 40s, and so forth, and getting ready for the old world. Right, so let's get on to that, shall we? I have not said much about the old world stuff for a while because I keep getting a whole lot of misinformation from people. Last week, I've been getting a lot of photos from people saying, oh, well, look, here's the new Bretonians, here's the new this, here's the new that. And they're very polished and very nice, but they're very obviously fakes. So when the photos of the Toon Kings dropped, my first instinct was fake because I'd just been seeing nothing but fakes. But sure enough, they turned out to be very, very real. And I don't think they were leaked. I think somebody at GW would have gone, look, just pop that in there. They're very well known for doing leaks, So I'm guessing what's happened is someone has, been given the okay to bring them out, and away we go. And we'll be seeing a lot more of them. So the initial idea was that the old world was going to come out, what was it, late February or mid-February, early February. Now I get the feeling it's going to be very earlier than that. It's going to be mid-January. I think we'll see pre-orders. And if that's the case, then I would say Boxing Day onwards, we're going to start to see a lot of the old world stuff. They're going to have to start. Have you noticed that GW, their last couple of weeks, that their new releases have been, no offense to GW, hi GW, hope you're well, have been kind of dull. One of their releases was no GW miniatures whatsoever. It was, Christmas baubles and some key rings. And I'm like, what? But, and I think that's, a little strange, a lot strange. So I think, this is going to be the calm before the storm. And then, come Boxing Day, we'll start seeing, Bretonian this, Toon Kings that, and they'll ramp it up and ramp it up. And so, by mid-January, we'll, get the pre-orders and, people will be foaming at the mouth for it. That said, I love the fact that we are getting just a Bretonian box, just a Toon Kings box. That is beautiful. None of this versus stuff, so I don't have to find somebody to, sell my Bretonians to. It's just it. But that said, I am concerned and sad because apart from the dragon, it's all old miniatures. It is miniatures that I've got over there that I've had for 20 odd years. Don't get me wrong. The only reason I can see them doing that is because it's going to be cheap. And that's the only reason I can see them doing it. They've had lots of time to prepare. They've got lots of time to bring out and sculpt new models. They've had a long time to do this. So I get the feeling that the box set, everyone's going, oh, it's going to be $500 Australian, $700 Australian. I don't think it's going to be that at all. I think it's going to be, it's going to be under $500 easy. $420 Australian, maybe $480 Australian. But even then, these are old models, guys. So that dragon, I would have popped that Australian at about $320, maybe. $350 tops for that dragon. Please note, this is Australian dollar dingoes. We do pay higher here in Australia. But those skeletons and all the rest of it, they're old. They've been, you can buy them on eBay. I picked up a whole lot of skeletons on eBay for Australian $100. And that was 4 chariots and a whole lot of horsemen and so forth. Very, very cheaply. So I don't think the box set's going to be insanely huge like people are getting worried about because it's old miniatures. If that was all brand spanking new miniatures, you'd be looking at a disturbingly large amount of money. But that's what I think what's going to happen. We're going to see, for the first 2 years, we're going to see mostly old models redone. The interesting thing is the box set for Tomb Kings has, apart from, so let's just take the dragon out of the equation. Everything else there was in plastic 20 years ago. We're not seeing plenty of, plastic of Shanty, plastic carrion, plastic swarms. We're not seeing, plastic bone giants, plastic screaming skull catapults. We're just seeing everything that was originally in plastic anyway. So for the most part, I think the box set will be, quite cheap. It has to be, just so they can get it out there. Don't get me wrong, they're going to make a profit on it, but I don't think the profit margin is going to be too huge, and that's what they want to do. They want to get everyone into a feeding frenzy. I thought about, if it was under, this is before I knew about it being just a box set, I thought about buying 2 boxes. So I would buy 2 lots of the box, let's say at $400, $800, sell off the Bretonian stuff or give it away. No, not sell it, I'd give it away. And then give away the rulebook to somebody else who needs it. And then, building up my army and so forth. Now, one box set's going to do that. One box set is going to give me enough skeletons, enough cavalry, enough bowmen, and, well, a lot of chariots. It says that only 3 chariots, and I've got 6 chariots here anyway, so, that's what, 9 chariots. I think that's a good number to have, 9 chariots. There is no need for me to buy a second box. The only reason I would buy a second box, and that is to be incredibly frivolous, and that is to buy, have 2 dragons. So you have one with, the Supreme Lord on there, and one with the Lich Priest, and that would be the only reason. And I think I'll wait and just buy the dragon box set when it comes out, and it will come out. It has to at some stage later on. They're not silly. They'll put it out. If they can make a lot of money off it being a single box, they'll bring it out. And then what we'll find is they'll have the initial box set, and then towards the army book, we'll start getting all the Tomb King variants, the Snake Man and so forth, this, that, and the other, and such. But that's for another day. So I would say that, around Christmas. I mean, there was a rumor about a month, maybe 2 months ago, that James Workshop's Christmas gift to the old world was going to be officially all the base sizes and what they're for. Now, if that's true, and still true, that would be a beautiful Christmas gift. I'm not going to lie. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. It'd be lovely if it did. I'd love it to happen, but Games Workshop these days have been very, very private. Like I said, I had lots of sources talking about the old world, and then suddenly it went away. I'm hearing all sorts of stories about Kroot, the Tau, Sisters of Battle, the Imperial Guard, stuff like that, and Varric, the old Baal, what he's called. See, 40K's lore is not something I sort of keep up to date with, but for some strange reason, 40K players keep thinking that he's dead, and I'm like, this is Warhammer. No one dies forever. They go away for a while. They will, go into the warp. They'll go off fighting somebody. They'll go to sleep. They're in, look at the Emperor. The dude's been around. No one's actually seen him, but he's been around since, first edition. So I think, from what I understand, Varric, old One Eye was, off doing something. And now he's going to make a comeback with the Imperial Guard in a big way and so forth, bigger and better and stronger, rejuvenated, whatever. They'll make it fit. So if you're playing 40K, yeah. Also, Kroot, I'm hearing all sorts of weird things with Kroot. Some of it, I don't even know what to believe, They sound almost like comic relief in some respects, like orcs are. But, they're more sort of driven and such. Anyway, as much as I like hearing the stories, I'm here for the old world for the most part. So There was one other thing, and I have completely forgotten about it, so I won't worry. I'll be doing a painting video, like I said, about the swarms and so forth. See, I'm talking away. I'm trying to remember what I did. Before I forget, there is something small and minor. I said to you the fact at the very beginning, you'll only ever hear from me when I have something interesting to say. Now, I've been watching a lot of videos from Warhammer people, and there's a lot of clickbait out there. There is some people in the USA in particular that are doing these amazing, and you look at the title and it will say, is this the end of Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, blah, blah, blah. And then at the very end they'll say, oh, no, the Age of Sigmar is fine. And it's just like, what the hell? Why are you doing this? Clickbait. And you're not going to get clickbait from me, really. I'd rather give great content than anything else. And if you don't like what I have to say, that's fine. You can unsubscribe. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. I'm just here trying to, help out people. I'm not going to get rich off this. I'm not going to, have enough money that I'm going to be able to, sit back on a beach and just, drink Mai Tais all day. I wouldn't do that anyway, to be honest with you. I'm too much of a Warhammer fan. And I guess that leads me to the last thing I want to say to everyone. I had someone leave my first negative comment, and they said the fact that they weren't too sure what my channel was about because it's all over the place. Am I a 3D printer? Am I a Warhammer person? Am I a painter person? There is just no clear direction. And I like that. Yes, this is about Warhammer. Warhammer in 3D printing, Warhammer in painting, Warhammer in lore, Warhammer in games. Anything to do with Warhammer, mostly at the moment fantasy, is where you'll find me. All right, so to sum it all up, the best way is to sum me up. I'm 55. I get up in the morning, I have my cup of coffee, I'm looking at Warhammer sites. During my day, I'm shopping, and I'll see a toy gun and go, ooh, that reminds me of a Stormbolter. I'm watching TV in the afternoon, evening, that looks like Space Hulk. Oh man, look at this fantasy setting, that could do well with this. It's just how my brain works. So I'm always thinking Warhammer, and hence the channel was born. Anyway, everyone have a great day. You will see a painting video from me coming up about the scarabs. And like I said, I'll do that, those little miniatures for Legis Imperialis. I'm not going to play the game. So 850 subscribers, and I'll just randomly find one person that's on subscribed to me, and I'll give that away to them. It'd be a nice Christmas present if we can get it done in the next week. If possible. If not, it might be a nice New Year's Eve or New Year's Day present. Everyone have a great day. This is Chaos signing off, and always remember, love the game, love life, Chaos out.